before you lies a land of mist and intrigue. In places it is a treacherous and desolate wasteland. Let your gaze penetrate the mist, and you will find a dreamscape filled with wonders. On this journey, your constant companions are a murder of crows. Black-winged and cunning, these are extraordinary messengers of the other world. They answer to unseen powers. Their croaks and caws convey great wisdom. Their far-seeing eyes pierce the vast distances of time and the far reaches of space. Nothing is hidden from them for long. If you follow where they lead, your adventure will transform you inside and out. Good morning, everyone. I told you a new deck was coming this morning, and I meant it. Unfortunately, this video is not going to go out before 11 p.m. because it's already half past 11 p.m. So, also, we will have to deal with noises from outside, so my apologies for that in advance. And for many of you just joining us for the first time, walking through this week with us, this is Full Scale Friday. This is the entire weekend reading. So what you will find here is a much larger reading. It takes a little bit more time to get through. Also, we have Viking Oracle, we have Spirit Animal Oracle. I just laid those down for you. And then today we will have a Murder of Crows Tarot, and we will have the Shaman's Dream Oracle. Also, the runes. So, we're going to look at the mind. We're going to look at the body, the very physical world around you. And we will also see how you're doing spiritually. We've gotten some warning signs this week. I'm hoping this weekend is a little, the news is a little better. Hopefully something a little more positive. Something that is positive, though, there will be a live stream this Saturday. That's tomorrow, 11:15 p.m. Eastern. Set your clocks accordingly. I will also be starting the videos on alternatives to D&D. So I hope you'll tune in for that. We will take a look at some... We're going to do kind of a series. So I'm going to start with the freebie to very, very inexpensive stuff, and then we'll kind of go from there. How about it? And then in between we'll be doing reviews. I just found out my Chalk books are coming, which has me all kinds of excited. Venture told me they should be here Tuesday. I don't know, maybe they'll be here a little bit before then. I can't tell you. I hope they will. But know one thing, the Chalk series is also coming, so be on the lookout. Let's get down to what your weekend is going to look like, because I'm a little excited myself. And I'll take you through this little journey. I'll take you through this story, because it's your story as much as it is mine. So let's have a look. Let's see what the Once Upon a Time is. Because once upon a time there was you. There was you, there was me, there was you watching this very video right now. And we've got Fenrir. Alright, so let's talk for just a moment. Fenrir. We've got our frustrations. Fenrir was frustrated at being betrayed. That's why he bit Tyr's hand completely off. You've heard the expression, bite the hand that feeds you. Well, Tyr was one that fed Fenrir. When the gods exiled Fenrir to an island due to his immense size, because Odin was fearful of him. And they tried little games with him. Were mostly veiled attempts at deception, to see if he could break bonds, and finally, there was one bond he couldn't break. But he wanted the hand of a god in his mouth just in case he'd been tricked. And Tyr was that hand. And when he found out he had been, he snapped Tyr's hand completely off. And he hates Odin with a passion. So, the question is, are you going to sit there carrying that hatred around with you forever? Seems like a bit of a waste of time. And we had Monty earlier in the week. Told us we don't have time to waste. We have things to do. So I say let's let go of it. Let's see how we're being guided. By Yggdrasil. We talked about Yggdrasil. Yggdrasil by itself is strong. It grows on its own. We talked yesterday about whether or not we're an island or whether we're independent, and Yggdrasil is the symbol of independence. It can operate just fine on its own, but it tends to be revered for the things that it does, like holding all 9 worlds and connecting them in such a way that they're not easily broken. So what can we look to in nature? Remember, you're not a part of nature, you are nature. But what else? What external force can you look to? Especially this weekend. The hawk. We're about to look into some crows here in a minute. But the hawk symbolizes spirit. You're going to have to go with that this weekend. So this row here for the spirit is going to be of utmost importance. Whatever warnings are there, you need to heed them. If they say we're on the right path, then we need to continue on it. Let's have a look at the tarot, starting with what's going on in our heads. We've got a King of Cups. We've got a Knight of Wands. And we've got a Four of Cups in reverse. Let's talk about the King of Cups for just a minute, because we need to really be masters of our own emotions. And this reminds me a little bit of the depictions of Odin, sitting on his throne, drinking only wine, Hugin and Munin, his ravens, in either ear. But in this case, the one thing that has not been mastered is fear. Do we let fear, anxiety, and all those things completely take us? Because I've seen them take others, and I think it must be exhausting living in that. I've seen them online, I've seen them in real life. But I know that's not any of you here, is it? Because it can't be. Here, there be people trying to empower themselves. And you can't empower yourself if you don't have control over your emotions. One such example is a symbol I won't name. There are all kinds of claims that, due to a bad historical reference of about, maybe 10, 15 years, it can never be reclaimed. Meanwhile, I see that very same symbol on Buddhist temples, Jainist temples, on statues of the Buddha, in Native American art. There are people in Southeast Asia wearing that symbol on a t-shirt. Did anyone give them the memo? Because I kind of doubt it. And if they did get it, I doubt they care. Because they don't let their fear of it sway them from using it for its original intended purpose. Also, the person who reacts viscerally to such images well, speaks more to them than it does the image itself, does it not? Having that self-control is everything. Knight of Wands. Well, we're going to be moving with our creation. The power to create must come independently. The urge and desire the drive to create, that's going to be everything for us. Because if we don't, eventually, we don't mind our creations will mind us eventually. Never a good place to be when you're at the mercy of them. But we are throwing a little caution to the wind. Because the Knight of Wands is a wild soul called to the frontier, the bold push to the edges of the map. The joy is in discovery and desire for experience, even those things that bring tears and terror. As I've said before, you can't let fear rule you. And then we've got that Four of Cups. We're actually shedding our apathy here. Rather than ignoring that one little opportunity that sits, because if you look, there's one opportunity there and it's being ignored. Instead of that, we are going to be embracing it. Mentally, that is. But it has to come with shedding fear first. So, in the physical realm, we have a Two of Pentacles in reverse. We've got... wow. It looks like we've got a couple of things going on here. Now, forgive me, I haven't worked with this deck before, so I am looking for... I'm kind of looking for some other things. I have looked through it. Okay, here we go. So, we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse, we have the Sun, and it looks as though we have a Tower in reverse. Yes, Tower. So, Two of Pentacles in reverse, you do not have certain choices are not going to be left up to you. That's just how it is. You are going to have to take care of things in a certain way. And right now it's in financial decisions. Sometimes we want to go out, we want to spend money, we want to have fun. Especially if it's payday week, right? But you also have to remember that you have obligations you got to meet. So meet those first. You know, sometimes you have to kind of defer the fun a little bit. But we talked about focusing on what you have, and if you're looking for it, it will be revealed. And what you have is far more than what you think. In fact, you probably have more than what you know to do with. And you have that solid foundation. You are rebuilding. That which was lost before isn't going to be so lost. Your progress is moving quite nicely. So in the realm of the physical, you have to be a person, you have to be about meeting obligations more than anything. Commit to those projects. Keep going with them. Because while you're building, while you're creating, while you're doing so without fear, you will find that audience that's going to be hardcore, dedicated, and loyal. Alright, spiritually, we've got Ten of Swords. We have an Ace of Pentacles, or, I'm sorry, a Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And we have a Three of Swords in reverse. So, those feelings of betrayal are coming back, but this is a bit of a misperception, because right now you're in the ultimate stage of your triumph over whatever evil it is that's in your life. The Queen of Pentacles, it's not going to be opulence. It's not going to be extravagant. In fact, it will be very humble. And that's the way you have to approach it, is with at least a little humility. I know we're fearlessly creating our new thing. We're fearlessly involved with that project. We're going headlong into it, but we have to control ourselves. We have to be measured, and we have to be able to communicate it clearly. You can't let it get to you. And finally, the Three of Swords in reverse. It's going to be that thing that lights you up, that thing that you love at the absolute most. It's going to be taking you farther than you could have ever imagined. This is not about heartbreak. This is about mending it. Let's have a look at your oracles. We have Repairing the Veil. We have Covenant. And then we have Stranger. We'll start here. Now is the time when the veil is growing thinner by the day. So, now is the time to communicate, to forgive. Forgiveness does not mean that the action done to you was okay. It means that you've moved past it. There's an old saying, you know, we've had a little shake-up in the past few months with a couple in RPG circles, and suddenly an Instagram post came out, and there are a whole lot of people that are arguing, well, we really got to give them another chance at some point, and others are like, no, we know what they did, and that's unforgivable. And I understand that. My take on that situation is, you know what, I forgive what they did because they did not do it to me. However, and I agree that they do need to pay the people that they screwed over. And while I forgive their actions, I'm not stupid enough to ever trust them. So to me, they would be persona non grata. Don't approach me for any kind of with any kind of contract. And if you do, it will be my attorney reaching out to yours. And that contract will be honored under no uncertain terms. It's okay to forgive people, even if you have to cut them completely out of your life. Speaking of contracts, remember yours. Because you do have a sacred covenant with your spiritual power, no matter what it is. Whatever that looks like to you. Whether it's 9 noble virtues, whether it's 10 commandments, whether it's just one rule, you have to be able to honor that this weekend. That's what these obligations are all about. That's how you build, that's how you move forward. Finally, we do have Stranger. Our natural curiosity may just get the better of us. And it's okay to be curious. It's okay to satisfy that curiosity. The question is, to what end? Always keep that end in mind, because it's very important that you know. Like we've said before, you don't know what you don't know. So learn what you don't know. Be a little curious. If it does not spark your curiosity, don't bother with it. Play with it a little bit. But you may want to keep some aspects of it to yourself. Just a suggestion. Finally, in the runes, we've got Berkano, Rider-Waite. Yep. If I could get my hands on it here. And we've got Mire. So with Berkano, we are healing ourselves. We're letting it aid in our growth. Forgiveness is a part of that. With Rider-Waite, we are taking a journey, and remember, this thing is mostly about the journey and what you learn from it, not the destination. But the destination is always reaping the rewards, reaping what you have sown. It will be decided on merit. So where is your journey taking you? Again, you're embarking on a transformative adventure. It will transform you inside and out. But you have to shed your fear of it first. Let spirit guide you. Let your curiosity take you places you never thought you'd go. Find out that some people were just wrong, and forgive them for being wrong. And remember, you're part of something much larger than yourself. So it's time to let the feelings of betrayal and all that hatred go, because it's not going to carry you anywhere. In fact, if anything, it's going to mire you right down in the muck. Let the sun be your guide. You know what the sun is in your life, because it's no longer breaking your heart, it's mending it. And that's really all I have for you for this weekend. At least in terms of what the cards have to say. Just remember, I want you to take care of yourselves and each other. I love you all. Always do what lights you up from the inside. And no matter what anyone says, shine on.